Also, we can insert two edge loops for edge loops, and we can do the same like the pole before on the fence, but this time we're going to extrude them outwards. So hit extrude and let's extrude outwards, and again let's go to edit mesh, extrude, and we need to set the divisions to 1. So we had 25 and we had 25 divisions when we extruded, so that's much better. See how it looks from the side. Probably we can shrink it a little bit. That looks better, so let's duplicate it. So we have two power lines that we now need to create. So let's go to top view, and this time with the EP curve tool, let's zoom right into this object that we've just created. Just click once there and once on the back of the front left building. Then right click and select edit point, select the two endpoints and go to edit curves and go to insert knot. So we can select how much knots we need inserted, so let's select 5 and hit apply. And if we right click and select control vertices, we can see the newly created 5 vertices between those two endpoints. So let's go into perspective and move the whole curve right back into place where it should be. So we can go again to right click and select control vertices and move the vertices as needed into position to look like a power line that's hanging in the air. So that looks fine. So let's the search bar select type in NURBS circle with capital C 1, and this will select the circle that we've created before, and then we can select the curve and go to surface extrude, and this will give us again the nice profile of the circle. Also I've scaled down the circle a little bit so the power line doesn't look so thick. So let's select this and hide the curve of the power line. So we need to duplicate it. So center the pivot, duplicate the NURBS surface, and we can move it in the top view. So duplicate it, move it to the next point where it meets the connection object, and also now the two power lines looks identical, so we need to change that. So we can hold right click and select probably hold right click and select control vertices, and now we can move the control vertices again as we like, just to create a little bit more of a different power line and different profile of the whole power line, so it looks a little bit more different and we have some variation going on. So let's move on to creating the big stones that are going to be put on the front wall. So let's create a polygon cube, rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis and delete the back face, so we don't need to worry about it anymore. Probably scale down a little bit. Now just place it right onto the edge of the wall. Obviously we need to scale it down. That's too big of a stone to be such, so make it around 1 Maya unit, a little bit less, so we have some space between the different stones. Duplicate it and just take this around halfway, select those end vertices and take them halfway, a little bit less. So this will be our 2 main stones that we're going to duplicate from. So let's open first the texture editor. This will be one of the first things we're going to UV. So select all the UVs, right click, select the UVs and go to polygons, unfold. Let's bring the UVs back into the center of the UV texture editor and scale them up. So doing the same with the smaller stone, selecting all the UVs, going to polygon, unfold, and bringing them back into the center and scale them up. Now we need to tessellate the stone. Let's go to polygons, edit mesh, insert edge loop 2. So let's use multiple edge loops, and let's say we need probably 10 loops, and just let's place it across the stone, and we need another 5 on the horizontal side of the stone. And let's place 5 on each side of the smaller stone. So select the insert edge loop 2, and now we have nice even distribution of geometry onto the both stones. So let's go to edit mesh and transform component, and if we just ramp up this random number and select transform vertices. Now with this transform, this will give us a transform 2 that we can move, and we'll move each vertices randomly. So we have we can create this way nice rough surfaces. It's a nice little technique. This will give us nice uneven surface. So let's do the same with the smaller stone. Let's just give them a little bit space between them, not too much, but a little bit, so they don't look just connected to each other, but have some space between them. So duplicate the bigger stone beneath the smaller one, and then duplicate the smaller one and the big one beneath it one more time. So we have now 5 stones, and let's go to edit mesh, transform component again, and zero out the random transformation, and we can get the scale tool, scale all 5 of the stones equally from the center, not individually. So let's scale it up just to touch up the edges of the wall. So that looks fine to me. Let's select both of these big stones and duplicate it one row down and place it right to the edge of the smaller stone. So let's now move them a little bit to the left. There was a little bit gap there. So now let's select the bigger ones, and we can duplicate them. Make sure that the gap is filled. And yeah, we have a little bit of a gap, bigger gap on those 2 stones, so let's close that up. Now let's select all of those last ones bare ones, and this one. So let's select those, group them, center the pivot,